This kid who's got his whole life ahead of him gets ensnared on this minimal amount of evidence. And 17 years later, he's trying to rebuild his life.
I was accused of a crime that I didn't commit back in 1993. It was a rape crime, and I did 17 years for it. But I didn't do the crime. I was exonerated, and I just got out April 21st of last year. I'm still learning. I'm still getting used to all this.
What drew our attention to the case was that it was a case that was based exclusively on the testimony of the single eyewitness, the victim in this case. But there was really so little else to connect Larry and Alan to the crimes. They didn't have any criminal history that indicated they, were going to commit these kinds of crimes. Neither of them had confessed. There weren't any other eyewitnesses. The police were looking for a dark-haired suspect and a blonde suspect because the victim had described her attackers as being dark-haired and blonde.
I was logging then. In fact, I was operating what they call a grapple skidder for Eagle Ridge Logging here in town. I came in here, and there was a composite sketch hung up. And Marcella, she goes, "This don't look like you." I said, "What are you talking about?" "That composite sketch." Well, no, why? Why are you saying it? Haven't you heard? People are saying that you look like this composite sketch and you're the one who attacked this one. I said, "What?"
When the victim was first shown a photo lineup with Alan's picture in it, she didn't pick anybody out of that lineup. But when she was shown a second lineup, or a photo montage, I think actually it was a lineup, she picked Alan out that time. So was it because she recognized him from the first time, or what?
They rousted me when I was in the middle of a pool shot, put the cuff on me, didn't announce themselves. And I got in an altercation with them, physically, because I didn't know what was going on. My whole pool team about tackled them, along with the rest of the people in the tavern.
Some other things happened to him that can happen to anybody too, and that is when the police asked him, where were you on the day of a rape? He got his weekends mixed up. And then when he came back and corrected it, they made him out to be a liar.
There wasn't nothing proven except a soap opera. They asked her if the perpetrator was there in the courtroom that day, and she goes, "Yes." And would you point him out for us? "Yes, he's sitting right over there," pointing me out, So that was pretty devastating.
Eyewitness identification is the leading cause of wrongful convictions. It is present in over 70% of the more than 250 DNA exonerations that have occurred to present.
I tried to make the best of it. Mentally, I just had to shut my feelings off and just deal with what I had in there. Staying in shape, lifting weights is what I did a lot. I play softball because I'm a baseball fanatic. I've played all my life since I was a little kid. And my music, playing drums with a band, that really took the load off. It put me on the other side of the fence, for sure, for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. Just imagining performing in front of people and being respected and looked at as, a human being. Kayla was 5 and my son Alan was 2 when I went to prison. Kayla was 9 and my son was 6 the last time I seen them in person. That was back in December of '97. Jeffrey, I didn't see at all. If you have kids and then you go away and they don't understand why, and then over time they get tied up in their own lives and they tend to forget about, how can I make it sound not so harsh? Their program is being used to you not being around. Pretty much exhausted all my appeals from like '93 all the way up to 2000, and late 2000 I wrote to the Innocence Project, University of Washington. They said they were looking into it, but they weren't going to accept the case yet. They'd get back to me.
Now they can do DNA testing and get full profiles on skin cells. So something as small as 40 cells of skin cells. And that's really led to an extraordinarily powerful tool for going back and re-examining cases. We had to fight every step of the way to get the testing done. What ultimately led to their exoneration was that there were 2 male profiles that were found underneath the victim's fingernails, which is consistent with her description of how the attack occurred and her fighting with her attackers. And neither of those profiles, none of the profiles matched Alan, none of the profiles matched Larry.
Today on Think Out Loud, 2 men imprisoned for rape in Washington were cleared on DNA evidence. They had already spent 17 years in prison.
I would still be there to this day if it wasn't for the Innocence Project, University of Washington. And of course the DNA labs.
They have lost years, almost decades of their lives, from their early 20s to their early 40s, the time when people are building their lives, when they are raising their children, when they're buying homes. They lost that.
My granddaughters, we're really close. She really likes her grandpa. She was born just before I got out. She's almost a spitting image of my daughter when she was that little. She's got like the same hair. Yeah, it's kind of a do-over in a way. And my daughter knows this, She knows that I missed her growing up.
Sticker. You say that?
But little Jada, I'm going to be there.
There are very few programs for people who come out of prison and are guilty of the crimes that they committed. There are no programs for people who come out of prison who are innocent.
So I don't have any dental, medical benefits, nothing. I'm making $10.80 an hour. I'm not making enough money to put away to save anything. I still can't afford to buy a vehicle.
And when the government takes somebody's property away, they get compensated. So when the government takes somebody's life away, they should be compensated.
They haven't even apologized to us. They haven't done nothing for us. It's not right.